are the Insiders, and man, are we excited to be here today.
It's a party, baby!
News. We have a lot of stuff going on in the world of professional wrestling. So yeah, we're going to get into it. I have this little bit of, it's not really news, but I have this little thing that I wanted to share with you all. I'll delve into WWE Shop from time to time just to kind of check out stuff. You got to see this. Look at that Bray Wyatt shirt. I saw this and I'm like, now I know it's not coming in very clear there. Maybe if I back it up a little bit, but that is made by a company outside of the shop. They're selling it, but you could see the fireflies in the background, Bray in the front with the lantern on the right. And you can see the big symbol of the tattoo that I now have on my arm. Beautiful shirt. And I had to get it. I'm like, man, I had some Bray shirts. Unfortunately, I don't fit in any of them anymore. Because they're all like 5X shirts that drown me now. So I needed a new one. And I saw that and I'm like, oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And everybody, I shared it on Twitter and people are like, oh my God, I have to get, it is gorgeous. Like gorgeous. And it represents everything about him and what we do on our show, calling it Fireflies Forever and everything like that. I mean, it's just a gorgeous piece of, it's a gorgeous shirt. And I had to get it. Because, there's a guy that, I'll never forget. One of those heroes that, that is going to be one of those ones that goes down in history for me as one of the heroes for me in professional wrestling. So, yeah, I wanted to share that with you all. As far as I'm trying to think of, so much of the news is just bad news. Right? I mean, with Ozzy and having his big connection with wrestling and stuff 2 times on WrestleMania, always around the business. Tommy Dreamer reminded me of how the Road Warriors used to come out to Crazy Train at some point. And, so, a lot of it was kind of crappy. But yeah, look, but one thing that wasn't, and I watched this, of course, on SmackDown was the tribute, the heartfelt tribute that Triple H decided to come out and lead, which I thought was very appropriate, and had everybody on the stage for that 10-bell salute, and things like that. And they had a nice little montage and things. So. Yeah, I thought that was very nice, very well done by WWE.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think Big Dan said earlier that apparently Drew's having some issues or something like that.
Oh, Drew McIntyre?
Yeah.
Yeah. See if I could find that. Yeah, I didn't see anything about that either. But then again, I don't really follow any of the stuff like that anymore. I try to stay away from. I am not seeing anything on the Twitter machine. Drew McIntyre says he's stuck in the UK. Denied flight back home to the United States. Ooh, that's not good. Former WWE champion took to social media. Said he was stuck in England due to not having his United States passport with him as he was boarding a plane back to the U.S. with his wife. Caption on the video mentions that as a result, there's a good chance he won't make it to SummerSlam next weekend. Wow. Well, that's, he said, I can't get back in America. They wouldn't let me board my flight. I'm in England still at a buddy's wedding. Planning to go back, train for SummerSlam, but no, I got blocked. Wife and I walked to the gate trying to check in. Always goes perfectly fine. Not this time. Drew, you don't have your passport. I know who you are, and I know that you lived there for a long time. You're showing me pictures of your U.S. passport and your global entry, but it doesn't matter. So went home. His wife went home without him to tend to their sick animals. He concluded that Jelly Roll is behind the issue and promised he was going to drop the country singer and would make him pay. Now, yeah, well, with that comment right there, I wonder if it's a storyline. It kind of sounds like it a little bit. I mean, so, I mean, right up until that point, I was like, okay, you got me. But, yeah, I don't know. Now it kind of seems like it's a storyline. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. That would suck, though. Because I'll tell you, I'm pretty impressed with Jelly so far. He was taking the hits like a champ, and it looks like he's really been training, and good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
Yeah, he looks good, man.
He does. Yep.
All right, we'll get into what we've got this evening, but Roman Reigns returned since the last time we've done this show. Joe,
yeah,
what do you think, man?
Yeah, look, anytime he comes back, it's going to be a big deal. It just seems right, I guess, coming out and wrestling with Jay in a tag team match. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a tag team match. But I'm going to tell you something. The tag team match is probably going to main event. It's probably going to main event, and it could be night one that it does main event. Look, this is a big rub for Braun Breaker. So this is a huge thing for him in his career right now, to be in the ring with Roman. And, Roman really playing it up too. He's in the gym, and you see little clips that he's doing when he's lifting weights and stuff in there. So I think it's going to be a fun match. Is it important? Probably not, but I think it's going to be a fun match. Seeing Roman team up with Jay after all that stuff that happened to them back in the Bloodline days and things like that. And going up against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And then, of course, you have Paul Heyman. You just never know what Paul Heyman's going to do. But look, the OTC has now kind of, and I've said this before, the OTC has now kind of become an Undertaker type of character, where you're not going to see him very much. Even when he was in the Bloodline, you were seeing him at big events only. You weren't seeing him at small pay-per-views. You were seeing him maybe 4 times a year. Now it might even be less. But he's fallen now into that break glass, call Undertaker kind of thing, where now it's going to be break glass and call Roman. So look, I mean, it's so crazy how his story has gone and where he's come from, right? Taking the title off of Bray Wyatt, off of The Fiend, the way he did, right? And then going through that whole Bloodline story where people hated him. And now he's getting the overseas chant that has become such a big thing, where they're doing the Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I love that.
It's crazy. It's crazy how far he's come, and how he's turned everything around. Somebody even reminded, they were talking about on the radio, Jeff, and you bring this up sometimes about the dog food thing.
Mm-hmm.
How far has he come from that,
man?
As
Randy Orton once said, that was the drizzling you-know-whats.
Yeah, right. And you can't help but root for this guy after knowing what he's fought through. I mean, the man had cancer. So, that can really come back at any time. It's great to see him. And like I said, I like the storyline. The storyline does make sense. The rumor is, and I don't know how this is true again, because I'm reading this from God only knows where, but the rumor was that he was supposed to come back and he was supposed to fight Seth. That was the rumor. So whether or not that's true, I don't know, but that's the rumor that it was supposed to be, and they had to make a swerve. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Jeff. I think that the match will be fun. Certainly, there's no real stakes, but I think the match will be fun. Who I think it's big for, though, Jeff, is Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I think what we saw last week and kind of Roman and Braun doing the verbal jousting,
Mm-hmm.
that was a test, I believe.
Mm.
And I believe that Braun Breaker passed it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't look uncomfortable in that spot. He didn't look out of place. He looked like he belonged.
Yep.
So I think I agree with you. I think it's going to be huge for Braun Breaker. I think it's also going to be good for the momentum of Jay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if Roman and Jay win, now we got a little bit more juice with Jay. I know some people have been like, well, man, they feel like he didn't have a long enough title reign and he's lost a couple since then. I get it. I think this might be big for him, though.
Yeah. Yep. I can see it. Yep. I can see it. And like I said, I would be very surprised if this doesn't either lead off the show or end night one. Mm-hmm. I'd be very, very surprised because Roman's just that kind of a draw.
Yep.
So, yep.
All right. So next up, Joe, Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross set for SummerSlam. These two, I'll just say this: I'm really happy for Karrion Kross.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's about time, man. I'm really glad that they're finally recognizing what a lot of us knew, including Bray, what they knew about this guy. And I'm glad that they're finally starting to see it, the talent and stuff like that. And you know, I'm sure Sammy's probably got a great deal to do with this. The fact that he's helping to create such a big push for Karrion Kross. And yeah, man, how patient has this guy been? You know, he was fired. He was rumored to have been starting a new company with Bray. And then they got both called back. I mean, this guy still to this day in wrestling for me has one of the coolest entrances I've ever seen in NXT. Ever seen. Like, I couldn't wait to watch that show just to see him come to the ring. So, yeah, it's a feel-good story. I'm happy for him. Even though he's a villain, even though he's a heel, I'm happy for him. And you got to say kudos again to Sammy as well, because he is doing everything he can to make this happen for Karrion Kross. And Sammy's at the point in his career where he can do those things. He's like Kevin Owens, where Kevin Owens was doing that kind of same thing for a lot of people in his career too. So yeah, I'm super excited. I love Jeff when he got that reception that he got when they were over in Saudi.
Yeah.
Which was great. I mean, Scarlett was tweeting about it. She must have been thrilled. And yeah, I think, Jeff, it's finally coming together for Karrion Kross.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's he's earned it. He's earned the opportunity to be showcased and get more time on TV. Hopefully, they let him run with the ball a little bit more. Yeah,
and I think it's great that they're finally looking inward a little bit at him and you know and giving him that push. So yep.
All right, up next. Man, the ending of SmackDown I thought was great. I feel like what had become an afterthought in WWE, their tag team division, at least one part of it, has drastically improved. And this match, I believe, is a testament to how much people are digging the storylines in the tag division. So we're getting a 16 TLC match at SummerSlam for the titles, Joe.
Yeah, man. Now, how crazy has it been? I complained for so long that the WWE has almost like forgotten what tag teams mean. Even the tag team matches they would have, a lot of them they were just teaming up random, like really, really high up the ladder superstars together and just throwing them in matches together. Now, they're killing it with these tag teams, man. And I mean, you've got some great ones. I mean, obviously, some of the Motor City Machine Guns, one of the greatest ever to ever do it. The Street Profits have been amazing. Fraxium, one of the greatest tag teams in NXT. So they certainly have talent here. And now you mix in the Wyatt Six. Yeah, this is fantastic. What a turnaround from where they were with tag teams, where they were doing nothing with tag teams.
Nothing.
Someone had this revolution, like, let's put them all on SmackDown and let's just keep rolling with it on SmackDown and make that our home for tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Good job.
Yeah. Yep.
They've been killing it, man. I feel like the Raw tag division, hopefully they follow suit now that the SmackDown tag division is hot, because Angel and Berto are really talented, and they need to be they need to be elevated, and that whole division needs to be. So completely agree there. But yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. The ending of SmackDown, if you weren't into the tag division before that, I kind of feel like maybe you should be now, because of how everything broke down at the end. From the Wyatts, Mickey kind of being heelish at the end. Not kind of, definitely being heelish at the end. So what happens, and does the numbers game, how do you combat the numbers game if you're the other teams, is the question. So this should be a lot of fun, Joe. Yeah,
because you've got Bo on the outside, you've got Nikki out there, and you've got Big Eric Rowan out there too. Yeah, look, and somehow I can't help but think too that Bray has to be smiling from somewhere. Mm-hmm. That his legacy gets to live on in this particular way.
At this particular pay-per-view too, because think about Bray's history at SummerSlam. Something that Chris and I have mentioned quite a bit over the last several weeks on Fireflies Forever. So cheap plug, come check us out on Tuesday at 6. We'll be talking about this.
Yeah, absolutely, do that. We just got an announcement at Comic-Con of the Wyatt 6 figures and box set that you can now get, or you can order. So yeah, dude, I would have never thought. I mean, how many times did we talk about them, and we never would have said that they're going to bring home tag team gold, and they're going to run with that for a while. Nobody really ever thought of that as being a thing, but could you imagine if Bray knew that they bought, and I'd like to think somewhere he does, but that he would know that his brother and that gang that he has there would have brought back tag team wrestling in a big way to WWE. That's phenomenal.
Just great stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. All right. So,
oh boy.
Speaking of controversy and everything, Goldberg. I have an audio clip that I'm going to play of some comments that Goldberg made, but he is not happy. He was not happy with how his retirement match went, the build up to it. I have a quote on the screen that you'll see when this video plays, but just wanted everyone to check it out, and Joe will talk about our thoughts on this on the other side.
Let's just say I'm pissed off at the way I went out. I put so much into it, and I don't feel as though the effort was reciprocated to put a stamp on, what I accomplished. I'm not going to say that I'm not ecstatic about the opportunity that I got, but I was a WCW guy, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it could have been done a little bit different. That's all.
All right, man. So I'm ready to hear people in the chat. I'm ready to hear their opinions. But Joe, what do you think about Goldberg's take on this and not being happy with how things went?
It's almost like Jaws, right? Just when you think it's safe to go back in the water and root for this dude, and then, when I heard the rumors about this, I'm like, it's probably just people overblowing it and whatnot. But dude, like okay, I get it. The speech, yes, that was just very bad. But I don't feel that was necessarily WWE to blame. I feel that was probably more than anything was NBC and Peacock, because that they have to integrate commercials whenever they do. They get told to do that. That's not their decision. That just happens. So because it was on a Saturday night's main event, they had to run commercial. And that is part of the reason why maybe what WWE should have done in that point is not have that on Saturday night's main event. Have it on a PLE instead, where they don't have to run commercials. So they could have thought that out a little bit better. But, talk about open mouth insert foot with this guy sometimes. He just, again, you built up this whole big story, right? It's a feel-good story. He had a good match. He got a jackhammer off. We all know what happened, the stuff in the past with that and everything like that. He had a good match. Gunther and him had a good match. He lasted pretty long in the ring, which I think more people would have, not many people would have thought. And then he comes out and starts like just, but whatever. It's who he is. It's who he is, right? It's who he is. To their credit, they did put his whole speech on YouTube. So they did have it on YouTube. Maybe Conrad just said, maybe make it a Peacock exclusive. Maybe put it online that way instead of sticking it on YouTube. Maybe put, hey, Bill, you know what? We effed up. They put the commercial on there. We didn't mean for that to happen. They had to interrupt it. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to give you a little thing for like 10, 15 minutes. We're going to throw that up on Peacock or on the WWE app or something, make it into like a premiere or something like that. So they could, so listen, I get it. I understand it. Do I think there's animosity behind it because he's a WCW guy? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because if that was the case, would they have really done this at all? I mean, he was never really a WWE guy. He was a WCW guy, but they gave him this opportunity to have this last match. They're taking a chance because the last few times that we've seen him, let's face facts. He hasn't looked good, right? He hasn't looked too good. And there's been times where he's won matches where we didn't think he should win. So yeah, look, it's fine. I get it. He has his own opinions and he has his own, things to say. And I can understand the point about him getting cut off 100%. But I don't know, man. I think that, the last thing you want to go out as is with the sour grapes and stuff like that, and now people are saying, well, maybe he'll head over to AEW and he'll have a proper last match there because I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he will. I have no idea, but yeah, look, I think the match was good. I think he was given enough time. I think that Gunther and him had a good match. I think it was a good way for him to go out. The speech part of it, yes, they botched it. They killed it with the commercial and everything like that. I get it and could have been done better, but I don't know. I just thought when I heard it, I'm like, oh boy. That's all I could really think of was, oh boy, yeah, I don't know. I think there are sides to both of it, Jeff, and he does have a point about certain things. But personally, I don't really think he could go back and complain about the match too much because I think honestly that the match was fine.
Yeah, and the match I think was fine. I think he said something about there not being enough of a build up to the match.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'll get to the AEW of it during my grievance. But I just feel like I see both sides of it. I feel like, because in the interview he said that maybe the match went a little bit long, which is very well could have been the case, and maybe they were making up for that time because, like, like folks think, and the rumors are that Seth was supposed to run out and cash in. Maybe they were making up for time of that, lost track of time. Who knows what happened? Regardless, if you're WWE, you gotta be able to have a little bit better time management in that situation, because it is his last match. You built it as his last match. So yeah, if he wants to make a speech at the end, and you know that he's going to make a speech at the end, carve out those 5 minutes, or don't show us any of the speech at all. Only record it for the people live there. And like Conrad said, make it a Peacock special. Hopefully they got footage of him the entire day. Make it a mini documentary, Goldberg's last match, and put everything there, put the match in there, and then put his speech. And there you go. You got another piece of content for people to consume.
That's a good point. Yep.
Just my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and who knows, Jeff? Maybe they will. Right? Yeah. It's maybe a little late now, but who knows? Maybe it will be something that they'll consult with him on and do something down the road. So
yeah. And I will say, go check out the entire interview with Ariel Helwani, because it was really good. Mm-hmm. Ariel Helwani is so good at doing interviews and does a great job. So go check it out, because it was a really good interview. Last couple topics, Joe. Jay White has been dealing with a shoulder injury and hand injury, and looks like he's going to be out for a little bit longer than first anticipated. Yeah,
it's a shame, man. This guy is just really good. And when you lose somebody like this, it's hard. He was really getting pushed a lot in AEW, and rightfully so. He's just a fantastic wrestler and an amazing athlete. And unfortunately, sometimes it catches up to you, and it puts you out for a while, and the body isn't as quick to recuperate as it was at one point in time. But all we could really say is we hope he gets back soon. And gets back to wrestle as much as he can. News like this you never like to see, especially with a guy like this.
Right. I mean, one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
When he's healthy and going.
Yep.
Really hope for speedy recovery for him. And it just goes to show you how loaded all these companies' rosters are, because I mean, to not have him on your roster right now active, but you're still doing, really good TV and everything. I think that shows that. But definitely wishing him a speedy recovery.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Joe. The Knockouts division got a little more depth in Mara Sade, and I know you wanted to say Sade as in the singer.
The singer
on Thursday.
Smooth operator.
I had the biggest crush on her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep.
Formerly known as Jakara Jackson. She is now a part of TNA.
Big signing. I love it. Look, and this is what we talk about with this NXT partnership. I said this when we saw her debut. This is another part of it that I think people aren't really thinking of much. Is that you're going to have some people that maybe just don't fit or are not in NXT's plans, and then you have a bit of a depleted women's division. In TNA, they have been a little bit this year because of injuries and whatnot. Now, like I said, Rosemary's out. I did see, I think she's going to be wrestling soon, so maybe she's getting over the injury. But, she was out. And you have all these other people that still haven't come back from injuries and things like that. And now they're kind of just starting to get back together with the inspiration, making their way back. Killer Kelly making her way back. It's huge. But this is a big signing for the Knockouts division. I always stood behind them as having the best women's division out there. Well, now they got to prove it again, because that wasn't the case most of this year. They really just had a rash of injuries. Some people left and things like that. And, you got to make up for that. And I think that this is a really, really good signing for them, and a step in the right direction to get more going. My God, Jeff, we need some more women's tag teams.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We're getting the same couple going up against each other. No, this is a great signing for TNA. She looked like she belonged Thursday.
Yep.
From everything that we saw, and I think she's going to fit right in. And I mean, it also helps that people know about her because of the partnership and because she's been over there as a part of NXT's roster before. So I think this is going to be really good. I really do think it's going to be good.
Agreed. Yep. I think it's a great signing for them, and it's something that they definitely needed.
All right, man. The last thing, it looks like TNA, Joe, and this is probably going to be a large portion of my grievance, but looks like TNA is circling the wagons right now, Joe.
Finally, right? I mean, how long did we have to wait for this? So many people were saying, why aren't they fighting back? And it finally took this with Trick and everything like that, and finally to come together as a group. And you could see them on there, all the champions coming together saying, hey, Macklin Shirt, hold the line. They're finally coming together and putting up some resistance and saying, hey, we're not going to let these guys keep our titles anymore. This is getting a little ridiculous now. Now they have the men's and the women's title. Let's go. Let's get people excited. Let's get and we all know, look, we know it's about storylines and things like that. And we know why they're doing it and who they want to prop up with all this and stuff like that. Now it seems like it's going to be Santana, of course, still. And since Joe Hendry now it looks like he's out of that fold, and Indy Hartwell looks like it's going to be the other person. So, but yeah, these four got together in the ring and they look like they're on the same page. And all I can say, Jeff, is it's about damn time.
Yeah. It's about time. It's about time. This has been needed for a lot of different reasons. From a storyline perspective, you're like, okay, folks, when are we gonna band together? Because we're getting the crap kicked out of us. But I think in some ways the first part of this story was supposed to go like this anyway. It's not supposed to look incredibly promising right now, because if we're being honest, TNA to some people is still being looked at like the little engine that could.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the little engine that could didn't win everything in the beginning, then you wouldn't have the triumph story at the end. So,
yeah, very true.
So just me, but